This video is dedicated to all the international students that will be arriving September, which is fall, or by January. Your study visa has been approved and you're preparing to come to Canada. And by the way, excuse me for my t-shirt. If you're not a Man U fan, don't be offended though. Me, I'm not even a fan, but I just love the t-shirt. Okay, so guys, congratulations to all the international students that will be arriving by September or by January next year. Information is very important, especially when you're arriving in a new country. You'll need information to be able to navigate yourself through into this country, especially as an international student. When I came into Canada, it wasn't easy, but I want to share with you guys the things you need to know so that settling in Canada will be relatively easier for you guys. And I said relatively because it will still be difficult at first, but with time, at least with this information, you'll be able to at least have some ideas on what you need to do before you eventually land in Canada. And also as an international student, you know that there are some things you need to do that your study permit requires you to do in order for you to be eligible to apply for either your PGWP, which is the postgraduate work permit, or apply for your permanent resident eventually. So I'm going to be listing out tips which might be of interest to you guys, and I know it's going to help you guys a lot, because I have seen some international students that have, like, they did some things, and then when they try to apply for their PGWP or try to apply for permanent residence, those things that they did previously haunt them because their application is denied for their PGWP or for their PR. So I'm going to also let you guys know how to settle fully here in Canada, the things you need to know in terms of getting a job, getting accommodation, and all that. This is what I'll be sharing in this video. And the last point is very important, guys. I'm not joking about this. It's very crucial because as an international student, your main target is to get a permanent resident. So that is why you need to stay to the end of this video so that you know what you need to do to transition faster. Okay, so let's go. My first point is understanding your study permit. Now, IRCC, or will I say Mark Miller, the Minister for Immigration, has announced that by September, international students are meant to work 24 hours. Please do not work for more than 24 hours. That is the first thing. Don't work for more than 24 hours. Don't go and work thinking that IRCC will not know. They will know. You see that SIN, that social insurance number. With that number, they can track anything you are doing. Where you are working, they can track it. And the consequences of you working more than 24 hours is when you are applying for your PGWP, it will be denied. And another thing is they might even send you out of Canada since you did not abide by that rule. So as an international student, please, working 24 hours should be 24 hours. And that brings me to my second point. Do not work before your studies starts. Do not work. You're not meant to work till your first day of resumption. If you work thinking that IRCC will not find that. They will definitely find that. It's better for you to like obey the rules and know that your application will not be complicated later on when you're applying for your PGWP or your permanent resident or whatever application you want to apply. It's better you follow the rules and you know that your mind is at rest. Even when they don't catch you for your PGWP, if you're applying for PRO, they might still catch you with. If you guys are following Canada immigration news, my updates on both my Facebook, my TikTok and my Instagram, as well as my YouTube, I've shared several stories of how international students have stayed years and then one thing or the other will lead to them telling them to leave the country. So it's best you stick to your study permit rules, what they stated there. International students do not work before school resumes. And that brings me to my third point: be financially stable. Please guys, in as much as we know we do some things like borrowing money and all that, it's very paramount for you guys to come prepared financially. The thing is, when you are financially prepared before coming to this Canada, like more than half of your problem will be solved, because Canada is very expensive. Anything, there is nobody that you will talk to that will give you money. Working here is not the same way we do at home. It's very, like, the working culture is very, very different. And it's very strenuous. It's very, like, it is not easy. So it's very difficult for you to see someone just dashing you money like that. It's very difficult. Except maybe you have a family member here. But even at that, it's still difficult, because that your family members will have lots of bills. Bills here is monthly. It's not like it's yearly. You have the rent, so many bills coming up monthly. So you need to be financially stable before you come down here. Honestly speaking, it will really help you a lot. Then another thing is your accommodation. Try as much, if you are not staying on campus, you can, there's what they call shared apartment, or you can share a room with someone. That is a way of helping you to save costs. And another thing is, you need to look for accommodation that all utilities are inclusive. It might be difficult, but it's achievable, because even here where I'm currently staying is all utilities inclusive. Okay, when I mean all utilities inclusive, like water, hydro, like your NEPA bill, Wi-Fi, everything is included in your rent. Okay, so that you don't have to be paying separately for water bills or internet bills or electricity bill. That will really save you a whole lot as well. So that is it, guys. You need to look for an accommodation that is all inclusive. When you do that, you don't have to be worrying about how much is water bill for next month, how much is electricity bill for next month, how much is Wi-Fi. All inclusive is very okay. And you can share a room, especially if you are coming as a single person. Then if you are coming with your family as a student, you need to look for an accommodation that the rent includes everything, both the parking space and all that. It will really help to save costs. Okay, then another thing I'll need to tell you guys is, if you watch my previous video about how you saving towards getting a car before coming, we all know that the job market is very, very bad right now. no two ways about it. However, this is not like to discourage you guys, but it's more like what is really happening. People are still getting the job, but it's not really like the way it used to be. Okay, I remember when I came newly in Canada, I was getting interviewed everywhere, every now and then, but the way it is now, I know some people, international students, especially for international students, it's very difficult. And especially now that IRCC has said that you need to work for only 24 hours, employers, some majority of the employers might not really like welcome international students, and that makes it more even difficult. The reason why I said you need to like save up to get a car, even though it means you buying a small car, so that when you come, you can just use it to do Uber Eats. Uber Eats job is readily available as a side hustle. However, you need to get a license, and that is why I recommended that before you come to Canada, while you are saving up your money, you can be preparing for your G1 license. Especially if you're coming to Ontario, you can check for other provinces what is required, how they get their license. But if you're coming to Ontario, you can start practicing for your G1, especially if you already have driving experience and you already have license back home. Practice for that G1 and knowledge test. That is the first test you need to take before you move to G2 or G. And I also told you I uploaded a video on the 200 questions that I used to practice before coming down. When I came down to this Canada, it didn't take me up to 3 months or 4 months, and I got my full G license. So that video, G1 license video, really helped me a lot. The question is usually 40 questions, 20 on road signs and 20 on the other part of the question. So if you're able to answer those 200 questions, you're good to go on your G1. So practice that and come to Canada. Once you come, you can enroll for your G1 knowledge test. After taking it, if you came with your license, maybe you have like 1 year driving experience already and you came with your license, immediately after your G1, you go straight to do your G2 road test. And if you have more than like 2 years driving experience, immediately after your G1, you can get an extract. I made a video of how you can get an extract here in Canada, and I also recommended that you should not bother to get from your from Nigeria or any country, or maybe from Nigeria, because for some reasons they are rejecting it. I don't know why. So like me, mine got rejected, so I have to do here in Ottawa to get my extract. So that helped me to skip the G2 road test. So if you have more than 2 years driving experience, with your extract and with your license, you will not do the G2 road test. You will be able to do the G road test. So with that, you'll get your license, and then you get a small car. You can be using that for Uber Eats and be getting money while you are searching for a job. Okay, so that is another point. Then another thing I would like to tell you guys is Canada, they love Canada employers, they love certifications a lot. So if you know you are coming to Canada and you know that your job or your previous job experience might not be in demand here, it's not ready, the jobs are not readily available, I will recommend you guys to get certifications that are like the jobs are readily available, like this food safety certifications, so that you can use it to work in the restaurant. Jobs in restaurants are readily available, and then security job as well is still there. Then these caregiver jobs are there. You need to get PSW certification, because there are some agencies or some private schools that can like accelerate you to get your PSW certifications, you can use them. But otherwise, you can get the food safety and just make research on certifications you can get fast so that you can get a job very, very fast. You make research on jobs that are in high demand, and that is why networking is very important too. When you come to Canada as an international student, don't be an island. Try to network, especially among your international student crews as well. So from there, they will be able to refer you. While they refer you, you know the kind of certifications you will get. Here, it's not about whether you get your master's or degree. Majorly, employers, they really like certifications. That is the main thing that they need, certifications. It's not about degree and all that, okay? There are some courses you can just get certified. Some little courses like that food safety certification that I mentioned earlier. That one, I think it takes about 3 to 6 months. You're done with it. You get certified and you'll be working in a restaurant and customer service too at all these grocery shops. You can get job from there. Okay, that is another tip. Then the next one I will need to tell you guys is your credit card. Credit card is not your money, so you guys know it is not your money, and it is not wise for you to start spending the credit card as if it's your own. The one thing you really need to avoid in this country is debt. Don't overuse what you know that you can replace in your credit card, and that is why budgeting is very, very important. You need to learn how to budget. It's very, very important. Like what my rules of thumb is, since I need to build my credit card, what I do is I make a budget. Like I know the monthly amount that I will spend. So I will spend with my credit card, then the upper month, I will just replace it. But don't go and spend more than the amount that you can replace in the upper month, because you see the interest in credit card is very, very high. I think credit card interest is the highest interest you can get compared to other loans you might take. You see, credit card interest is very, very high. So ensure as you're spending your credit, know that it is not your money. It's a money that you need to replace. This country runs on credit, and that's why we use the credit card. However, you need to replace that money in order for them to know that you are credit worthy. If you spend your credit card limit more than the limit, or like more than the 30% of your credit allotted to you, you will see your credit score dropping drastically. So my recommendation is, as you're using your credit card, please use it wisely, so that as you're using it this month, the following month when the statement comes, you'll be able to replace it. If you want to know more about it, how to use your credit card or how to build a score, your credit score, I already made a video about that. I'll put a link there, or the video is on my YouTube. You can go and check that video, how to build a credit score and how I was able to get an excellent credit score in 4 months. So you can go watch the video. I think it's also on my TikTok page as well, so you can watch the video. Another thing I want to let you guys know is your grade. Do not work and ignore your grades. If you have a low grade or you're not performing well, schools are now mandated to tell IRCC. They are mandated to tell IRCC if you're doing well or you're not doing well. And you know the implication of that. It means if you're not doing well, you'll drop out and you'll lose your study permit visa. You will lose it, meaning you're not studying, and that is like going back home. So guys, take your academics very, very seriously, like very, very seriously. Don't allow working to come in place of your academics. Okay, before now, schools and IRCC, they are not kind of connected in terms of schools trying to like tell IRCC how the students are performing or how they are not performing. But now IRCC has made it compulsory. If you've been following me, I share that news in my page as well, that schools are mandated to give a feedback of student performance to IRCC. They all know, IRCC knows that some students neglect their studies to be working. So they all know. So now they've mandated schools to be giving them those information. So guys, maintain a good grade so that you will not fall a victim of that. Take your studies very seriously. I have said so many tips already. I've even lost count on how many I've given. And I think the last one should be navigating to become a permanent resident. Guys, that is the cuckoo. That is the cuckoo. In fact, you see this particular one, this is what you would have been prepared even before you're leaving Nigeria or any country. That is the main thing. While you are an international student, especially if you have a job experience back home, you can still be in the pool. Okay, your job experience back home gives you points. You must not graduate before you start looking for how to become a permanent resident. As you're entering Canada, even before you enter the Canada, you must have already mapped out your plans on what you need to do to become permanent resident, especially now that it's very, very competitive. If you've been following the whole news updates that I've been posting on my channel as well as my TikTok posts, you must have seen that getting permanent resident now is hot cake, and they are not making it easier for international students. So guys, map out plan, explore the provincial nominee program, explore the category based draw, explore the French, explore anything exploitable or explorable for you to be able to transition from your temporary resident to permanent resident as soon as possible. Policies change, rules change, and that's why you always need plan A, B, and if possible plan C for you to be able to transition from temporary resident to permanent resident. You don't need to wait at the dying minute when you must have finished school and you've applied for your PGWP and your PGWP is about expiring, and that's when you will now be looking for ways to become a permanent resident. No, there are some people that became permanent resident even while being a student or while they are working. Okay, it is very possible. Those ones are people that utilized their job experience back home. So explore different options. Do not wait at the dying minute before you start exploring. This thing that I said now should be like your number one aim, your goal. That is it. Nobody is here to like come and study and then go back. No. So we all know why that you coming in as a student is just a way of moving to permanent resident. So that should be like your main target. So the main thing you need to do is explore pathways. As you're studying, as you're working, just keep on listening to updates, keep on listening to news, network, discuss with your fellow international students to see different pathways you can explore to become permanent resident. In this country, information is power in this country. So if you say you want to stay, you don't have friends or you don't have anybody, and you're not listening to or watching YouTube or updates regarding Canada immigration, you will just be losing lots of things. So if there are some people that don't know how to make friends, like me, I don't really know how to make friends, but the best I can do is to research. There are some people like that, so research on your own, listen to updates. That will really help you. So guys, these are the things that I said I should share with you guys. I don't know if I have any other points, or if you guys have any other points, you can keep it in the comment section so that other people will learn. If this video is helpful for you, please just subscribe and share so that people will benefit, especially international students that are arriving. Okay, and thanks to everybody that have subscribed. See you in my next video. Bye.